What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Once again, we are league racing for Supreme Racing League, the Hype Beast League, as you guys come to know it as now. But here's a look at the standings after what was the British Grand Prix, our first race where we scored points. We went from last place, effectively, I think, up to P12. So we're slowly climbing the leaderboards, and hopefully we can continue to do that. Overall, there's no real, aim for this season, really just to have some fun, learn the strategies and stuff, because I have a announcement possibly coming in the near future as to a very exciting league that I'm going to be taking part in. I think I'll leave it at that, but yeah, this league will essentially be like preparation or even like practice for that league that I'll be taking part in the new year. So speaking of the new year, this will be like the last race for a little while. There's a summer break that happens over Christmas for us here in Australia, so I think the first race for us again will be in early January. So heading into the break, I'll be hopefully looking to have a good race. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Here we are for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Before we get into that, actually, I should announce the giveaway winner for the Xbox One X hosted by Hype Energy as part of the Abu Dhabi weekend and giveaway. So the winner is, from Instagram, Evan McLean 96. So if you haven't already, check your Instagram DMs. Hype Energy will be reaching out to you very shortly. If not, they might have already done so. So congrats to you. You've won F1 2017, you won an Xbox One X, and some other Hype Energy goodies, which is absolutely awesome to see. As for the rest of you guys, there is still going to be a giveaway of sorts. I still have 2 codes of I still have 2 codes of F1 2017, the Xbox One, to give away. This is from the giveaway I had like a month or 2 ago. I literally forgot that I still had the codes, and one of the people that I actually reached out to, they said they already had a code for Xbox, so I still have 2 codes to give away. So follow me on Twitter, and I will give those codes away very, very shortly. So stay tuned for that if you guys want to have this game and you don't have it already. So getting back to this league race, Hungary, I never really enjoy this place, but I oddly seem to do well here for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but that's just the case. But leading into this race weekend, I had like no motivation to practice. I'm not too sure why. I was on PC all week, and I've recently got like a new monitor, and I was kind of dreading going back to console, and I was really getting to grips with my Thrustmaster TS PC racer, which I've come to really love as of late, and I'm actually doing a review on that maybe tomorrow or the day after or sometime very soon. So I was kind of dreading going back to my less good wheel on a less good platform. I just wasn't looking forward to it, but given the really limited practice that I had, I was actually surprised to be putting in a fairly competitive time that I'm actually doing now. I did 5 laps, literally 5 laps in time trial in preparation to this. It was a 17.1 that I set in time trial. I go ahead and set a 17.7 there. So I was, I don't know how to feel. Like, 17.1 is actually pretty decent pace in time trial. Sometimes you can be faster online when it comes to beating your time trial times. I wasn't sure if Hungary was going to be the case, simply because high-speed nature of the high downforce nature, and when you're online, most of your time is derived from the max fuel mix setting, whereas this place isn't really a power circuit. So I wasn't really expecting to get anywhere near my time trial time, but to only be 4/10 away from the pace after the least amount of practice I think I've done all year, I'll definitely take that. But as we head into the race, there was just like this sudden dawning of stress, because I didn't know what the race strategy was going to be. I guessed at doing the one stop, going on to the medium, so we'll see how that goes. 5 red lights, and away we go with this Hungarian Grand Prix SRL round number 11. Looks like a decent start. Greek Master was nowhere near us off the line there, so we're going to be pretty much uncontested as we head into turn 1. Round the outside of Dominator and the Mercedes. We'll see if we can get the Ferrari as well. We get squeezed up onto the curb there, and that gives us a really shocking run through turn 1 and allows Dominator to get us back around the outside. A little lunge to the inside. I've got a little bit of oversteer or instability under braking there, and mounted the curb a little bit too much, and that was pretty much all she wrote for an attempt on getting P4 in this Grand Prix, at least for the first sector at least, but it's been a solid start. Like, whenever you can, if you can like maintain track position without any damage in a league race, that's always a success for me. I'm not always about risking it all just to get a 1 or 2 positions off the line if it means damage, but the fact that we've had a decent start is all I can ask for, really. As we go up the inside of Dominator, who leaves the door completely open through turn 1 there, was almost surprised by how much room he left there. But now we go around the outside through turn 2, a little bit of a squeeze, and again he's come over into my line a little bit. Very lucky as well to not have any front wing damage there. Normally that does result in some damage, at least in career mode it does, especially like with simulation damage. This isn't sim damage, this is full damage, so I stepped down a little bit, but sometimes you can never be too sure. The damage model is often very inconsistent, but Dominator and Master Berserk here are battling away quite hard here for a final spot on the podium. I'm going to see if I can make the most of this as well. Round the outside through the final corner, and yeah, that was almost like a lunge. I just went in really deep there and see if I could hold around the outside there. I'm running with 11-11 wings, and I don't know if everyone else is doing the same as well, so I fancy my chances there going around the outside. We'll try to get into the braking zone of turn 1. He's actually moved over on me in the braking zone, which I didn't really appreciate there. I had to mount the curb, but in the end there, it is still P5. Are we going to go for a lunge? It was a bit of a 50-50 move there, just going for the move. I'm trying to unsettle him, see if he can get a bad run here, which it looks like he does have one. We're going to go up the inside into the fast left-hander, which isn't really an overtaking zone. I had to back out of that there and actually got a corner cutting warning there, so I'll have to ease up a little bit and just calm things down, because we can't afford to throw away corner cutting tokens like that. It's a very long race, and it's actually quite easy to get a 3-second time penalty for 3 corner cuts. But up the inside again into the final corner, he leaves the door open, and it's very close between the two of us. We actually touched side pods there on the exit of the final corner, and now it's side by side between the two of us. This is for P4 in this Grand Prix. We're fighting so hard for this position. I have the inside, really late under brakes. He's not going to get me there. Park it on the apex, and I actually lost the back end at the worst time. The absolute worst time. Completely invited Master Berserk back into it. I hold the inside there. There's no way he's going to get me there. I've got much... I don't know if he's running 11-11 wings as well, but there was no way he was going to get me there. I was going to have that position all day, and it's P4. Job done. I was actually pretty happy about that. I had to work so hard to get that move done. I knew I wasn't going to overtake him in a straight line. It's just not going to happen. We're running with too much downforce for that to really work out. So I had to make it work in the corners. We did so, and now we have some clear air where hopefully we can utilize this maximum downforce setup and hopefully chase down Dominator. For the early laps after getting past Master Berserk, I was saving a little bit of fuel, but as the stint wore on, I kind of realized the importance of making a gap to him, because I didn't want him to undercut me. I absolutely did not want that at all. And we managed to break out the gap by about 2 or 3 seconds, and now we are finally stopping here on lap 12. We're going to go on to the medium tyres and then take these tyres to the end of the race. I was actually really scared about speeding in the pit lane there. It's actually really hard to spot the line as to where it is, so it's really easy to speed in there, but we managed to dodge that bullet anyway. But into the pits now, medium tyres, and a bit of a slow stop, 2.8 seconds. The guys around us have actually put on the soft compound tyres. Dominator, New Zealand Ryan, and Warden have all gone for the soft compound tyres. And now, at the time, I was thinking that they were going to do a 2-stop, but little did I realise my lack of preparation in this one has really started to show now. They actually go to the end of the race on these tyres, and from here on out, I literally had no chance. Absolutely no chance at catching them, because they had the faster compound. The medium tyres around here are actually dead slow, and I was really having trouble coming to grips with that in the early laps of this stint. We actually managed to get past HO there, who is on, I think he was on mediums, and his pace was pretty shocking. I don't blame him, to be honest. Old medium tyres are not great to work with. Mitchie, my teammate, made a mistake through the middle sector. That was an easy position for us, and now we have all-round cricketer up next. I believe he's the last of the guys in front of us who hasn't made a stop yet, so hopefully we can grab him as well. Look at him on his medium tyre, sliding around all over the place. I'm going to be looking forward to that later on in the race for myself there, but he has absolutely no apex speed through there. We get up the inside into the third sector, and there we go, into P4, probably the position where we're going to stay for the rest of this race, providing Master Berserk doesn't close us down. We're trying to break the slipstream there to prevent any kind of counter-attacking moves from happening, but once we settled into some clear air, my pace wasn't really there. Like, it was kind of head-scratching because I was a lot faster than Master Berserk on the super soft tyres early on, but now that we're on the mediums, the momentum has changed, and now Master Berserk is pretty much all over me. I don't know what it was. Like, I was struggling for understeer a little bit, but overall I didn't feel like I was driving that bad. But here goes Master Berserk up the inside into the third sector. We leave him space just enough to get through there. We don't want to be too gentlemanly there because we don't want to let him through after all the hard work we did to get into this position in the first place. So we managed to hold on to that position. There's a guy in the Haas who was spun out. We managed to get past him without any dramas, and yeah, it's still P4. There are a lot of people who are retiring in this phase of the Grand Prix. A lot of people dropping off, whether it be lag or incidents or just making mistakes. It is a very long race, and doing a one-stop, it is very testing on your, what's the word, just consistency. It was a very taxing Grand Prix because it is quite easy to spin off or on an auto spin curb or make a mistake or get corner cutting warnings, and we were managing to avoid all of that, which was actually quite good. But recently Master Berserk had a screen freeze and he lost about 3 or 4 seconds there, and then after that I think he lost all motivation to close us in, and that was pretty much it for him. But you remember that Haas that spun out just a few laps ago? He's actually pitted on for a new set of super soft tyres, and he's actually rejoined right behind me. So for the dying laps of this Hungarian Grand Prix, we are going to have a little bit of a tricky time here because this guy has a whole bundle of pace, but it doesn't look like he's the most consistent driver in the world. So I don't really want to let him go through here because I feel like if I do let him through, then we could get involved in some kind of accident or lag or whatever else. So I just really didn't want to let him go through there. You can see here I'm weaving on the straight to just say, don't overtake me because you're a lap down and I'm kind of in a race of my own here. At this time, I was still thinking that the guys in front were going to stop, and I needed all the time in the world. I needed to make every second count because they might be rejoining behind me and chasing me down, so I didn't want this guy interfering with me. But then he gets a really nice run through turn 1. He goes to the outside through turn 2, and it's going to be side by side for the two of us. I was really dreading this, and he actually gets the move done there, and I thought, okay, he's got us, let's just let him go, and hopefully we'll just pray that he doesn't make any mistakes, because if you guys remember back to ASR Monaco, we let lap cars go through, and then it ended up costing us a lot of time, because then they made mistakes and held me up again, and it was just not a great scenario to be a part of. But for the dying laps, we were just managing the gap back to Master Berserk. At this point, I realized that no one else was going to come in again, and so it was just a case of bringing it home to the end. My tyres are at 50-odd%, so the guys who are on the soft compound tyres, I can't even begin to imagine how worn their tyres are at this stage, so I thought, let's just go for it. Let's push for a lap and just see how much time we can make up, because I know they're going to be slower than me at this point, and I thought, yeah, let's see what we can do, see what the pace is like, and surprisingly, we actually set our fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the penultimate lap with tyres that are beyond 50% tyre wear. So yeah, that was a really weird one. My pace kind of got better as the race went on. I don't know if I was getting used to the circuit finally, or if, yeah, the fuel load and just the understeer was that bad at the start of the stint that I just had no pace. But yeah, it was a really weird one. But there we go, across the line. It's going to be P4 for this SRL League race. We actually run out of fuel across the line, but it doesn't affect things anyway. So 12 points to add to the championship tally. I believe Warden won the race. It was very close between him and New Zealand Ryan. They finished pretty much in like a photo finish or a formation finish right across the line, and they get another 1-2 in this championship. Those two are just, their consistency is something to really be applauded. Dominator gets third as well. Congrats to him, but for us, it's almost a case of what could have been if we would have known what the right strategy was. I don't know if we would have got third place in the end. We would have been a chance of chasing him down and fighting for it, but overall, it might not have affected the finishing position for us anyway. But it would have been nice to see what would have happened anyway. But there's the standings. We now move up into 10th in the driver standings. I think overall for the season, I'd like to target maybe P6. So we'll need to get a few podiums, a few wins, and we'll see what can happen for the final 9 or so races of this championship. But that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I see plenty more F1 2017 videos. That's it for League Racing until January. So hopefully we can come back with a bang.